Yeah, because you do a podcast with your wife.
Yeah, and she just we can talk about it here for recording.
Yeah,
she's
we're
a lovely,
recording, but we can also.
she's a lovely gal, Courtney McGinnis.
Yeah, no,
I'm a huge fan.
Platonically,
Great comic.
we love your wife.
You can not platonic. She's got big titties.
I'm an adult man. I gotta lie.
You boys want to beat off my wife? I'll give you my blessing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right.
Your friend should do that.
I'll send you some pictures in the mail.
Yeah. That's the safest way nowadays.
Shawshank style.
But
Roll out a big poster.
here's what happens is that she is, smart and capable. And so she just knows how to do things. And you know me, those aren't my top qualities.
No.
You're 45 minutes late to do this.
I just had to feed a cat, and it fucking took hours. And I've done it thousands of times in my life. But so she just automatically started like editing, putting the stuff together, and then I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden, then she's mad because I'm not doing it, and I was like, I know I'm supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
But then I try to do it. And I've got no fucking clue. I'm like, I don't even know. Do I go on a computer? Like, I'm like, you have to explain it to me from like I'm a 3-year-old.
You're trying to edit like John Travolta and blow out
I've
with a pair of scissors and glue.
Yes,
Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm cutting her phone up and gluing it back together. She said, no.
Is this good? Am I helping?
Anyway, thanks for having me on the
Of
pod.
course.
boys. It's been a dream of
while.
mine.
Oh, you've been on before. It's been
Have I?
Years.
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
When we were still at Leif's house.
What made you ask me today? I've been wondering this. And this is not whatever. I want to know the real answer.
I have in my mind, because I'm the one that books the guests, and I have in my mind, like in my head, I have our friends who have done the podcast,
Sure.
and then everyone else.
Got it. Okay.
And then I try to like do like a little bit of like back and forth.
That's smart.
right.
That's good.
But also, this week everyone was at Skankfest.
Oh, yes.
So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I try not to think of people who are not at Skankfest. And I'm like, let me look at friends first. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been asking Courtney as well. I've been asking her to do the podcast. She has a job or
She's
something.
very busy.
It's fucking annoying.
She's booked all
Can't
the
do
time.
it on
She's
Monday
got a job.
afternoon. Like
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I have a
unbelievable.
job. I'm like, stop.
You were a
I
comic.
don't have a job anymore, so I can do this anytime. But yeah, I was just wondering because I've just been getting booked on stuff lately, and I don't know what happened. I think I started posting on Instagram.
It's
because
huge,
you're supposed
apparently.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Legally.
just like I don't have anything to put. It's just the same picture of me I put over, and the caption is like I'm just trying to please the algorithm so that they like
good
me.
enough.
And I think it's been working. It's
I mean, you
insane.
can make a whole bit out of that. Where
I
it's-
have been because it's like I really don't know what the fuck. Well, I got it. I got it. The goddamn algorithm. That's what
That's
happened.
the algorithm will get you.
The Matrix just glitched my hand.
He almost dropped his coffee.
God damn it.
Don't worry, there's only a $7,000 rug.
Oh, that's nice. But,
But,
yeah,
That's for my
it's
kid.
feeling good.
It's fine.
But I feel like you could just post the same picture and add like sticker filters where it's just like fake mustache,
Sure.
big sunglasses, big hat.
Yes.
This is what you fucking people want? You want me to appease the algorithm?
I don't know. Well, it's humiliating. You guys are good at making videos and posting clips and stuff.
Still makes
but
me, it makes me suicidal.
I hate it's
it.
horrible. And I'm trying to get over that because it's also, self-sabotage. I'm big at that. So I think there's a part of me, like if I was just making little videos on my own, like I thought of it, I would have so much fun. But
Yeah.
the fact that I have to do it and that it feeds this goddamn system pisses me off. But I don't have any ideas for little videos. Every day I'm like, today's the day I'm going to do it. And I'm like, 3 o'clock already. I can't be filming. The time has passed.
It's too late.
Yeah.
I only could do it because it's the thing I love. Like,
Yes.
I don't. Obviously, I'm not putting stand-up clips or anything like that. But it's like, fighting is my favorite thing in the world. I can
Yes.
talk about it endlessly. So it's like it's kind of easy with that lens of like, I'm just fighting stuff.
But you have to edit. You have to put your face
I like
on it.
editing.
You do. Okay.
I
good.
like editing like as
It is
a project.
meditative. Probably,
Yeah, I like the idea of like, let me see if I can make it look like how my mind wants it to look like, or like.
Yeah. But there's never two guys kissing in it, and that's what your mind wants.
I
it to
haven't
be.
actually. It's so I do layers to the video.
Yeah, yeah,
Every
yeah.
video underneath it is two guys
Underneath.
kissing.
Oh yeah.
Just so you know, I
gotta-
felt
it's like a
horny while
magic
watching
eye.
those
Yeah,
fights.
yeah,
man.
You gotta look at it and cross your eyes a little
Oh
bit, and
my
uncross
God.
them.
I'm like,
Play the
this-
video backwards. you can see two
I
guys
am
kissing.
gay. I am gay. I am gay.
guy.
No, I was like, this lady getting knocked out at a Ravens game is horning me up.
Yeah,
That's not
see?
good.
No,
it's the
dude.
kissing, but that's nice. I'm happy for you. You guys are doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you so
We're-
much.
we're-
Yeah, dude, because that's the thing that sucks though. It's like I think because you like acting.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that
So-
great
but
at it.
I think
but
you're a
I
good
want-
actor. I've seen.
I'm
I think
okay.
you're
I
good.
want to be better.
But I know
it's hard.
That's what makes you a good actor.
I think it's true.
But I never wanted to act. I don't.
You never want it at all. All right.
No, I guess like when I was a kid, I wanted to be on SNL. But like
Yes.
the past decade plus, people have been like, all right, so what do you want out of stand-up? And I go, I want to do stand-up.
Yeah, no,
I don't
people
want
don't
to be,
get
I
that.
don't want to write. I don't want to have a TV. I don't want to, I mean, it'd be nice to have the money of a TV show or a writing job, but I want to go and do stand-up in front of people. That's what I want to do. And I never considered having to do any of the other stuff. Mm-hmm. But now I'm also like, oh, fuck. How many fucking jokes am I supposed to write that are good so I can post clips of them? But I don't want to do, because I don't, that's how you start having to do crowd work all the time. And it makes me sick. I don't do it.
It's tough. And it is, and nobody wants you to just do stand-up. And it's the least thing. Everybody fucking hates it. It's lower than juggling. It's the least respected art form.
People hate it.
People fucking hate it.
But
and,
if you post crowd work clips, you will tend to give you a whole career.
Well, here's the thing. I'll explain to you what's happening, boys. Because I had a dalliance with success years ago. You may recall, about 20 years ago. And all my management and stuff that I had, long gone now. But they're like, everything they told me was like, what do you want to do besides stand-up? Because it doesn't make them any money, and they don't give a shit. So it's like they would not help with stand-up at all. Yeah. And then it's either acting or writing. And writing, I don't want to do at all. It seems like I had one interview with WWE. I got it, and it was so cool because I was all dressed up and I was in the lobby and they were like,
you're wearing the Kane outfit.
I wish I did. I should have. I
looked like one of the rockers.
I might as well have, because they could tell I was a fucking mark immediately and weren't going to give me the job. Because I was like, did Rey Mysterio get hurt in that Hell in a Cell? I truly asked the question like that because I was like, I already lost this job. But I was in the lobby and there are gold statues like Ric Flair and Ultimate. I was like, this is awesome. And you get in the elevator and it looks like a ring and they're like playing videos. I'm like, hell yeah. And then I get into the room and it's just a fucking conference room with a whiteboard. And I was like, oh no, this is just a job.
Oh no,
this is just a job.
It's just a job.
So I was like, I did comedy to not have a job. That was like my main goal. And but acting I want to do, but it's just, there's something missing. There's like, you know how people respond to emotions in real life?
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever do that. I kind of that's interesting. And then I let it kind of bubble in my brain and then unleash.
Make a tumor.
Yeah, but I don't know how normal people act. And I think that's what gets in my head.
You don't know how people behave.
Look at this. Yes.
Yeah.
So
that does seem like an obstacle.
Yes.
You got to write like a new like Mork and Mindy's. You could just get to like play an alien and then you can act however you want.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And they go like, well, this guy doesn't act like any person. You go, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, just kidding. It's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
So you went to did you go to the Connecticut, the like mirrored building, like that place? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's hilarious.
It was cool.
From the Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, now they just moved to a new place across the street, which looks so cool. They've got a big like
from here?
From the old place.
Oh, okay.
I wish, it's in Redwood now. It's right by Cobra Club. It's pretty cool. No, so they,
Triple H goes to Sunak every day.
He would. That son of a bitch. They have like, it's got like it's got a giant like belt replica made out of stone outside, and all the inside apparently there's a place called the Snack Down Cafe.
Oh, wow.
Where you eat, and I just want to go in there so bad.
Yeah.
But they won't.
Sounds like they turned up the tackiness to 11.
Yeah.
I love it. That's wrestling is tacky.
It's so crazy that they don't want people who are fans.
That's what happened, and I realized because we had another friend. I told the story in another pod recently. I don't know if she's wants it. I'm not going to say. I won't say her name.
People listen to this podcast, and she's been a guest before.
Okay,
so
Kenise Mobley.
Yeah, she's been a multiple-time guest. She's one of our good friends' favorite guests.
Lovely gal. I love her so much.
Almost as good as Casey.
Almost. Hey, come on. That's not what WWE thought. Because I remember she asked me, like, what is wrestling? Like, she didn't know. And I was like, why? And I gave her like a whole, and she's like, oh, I'm interviewing. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. And then she got hired immediately. And I was like, oh my God, that's great. And then she had no idea about wrestling. Not her fault. She just took a job.
We're going to turn down a job.
She didn't know how crazy they were. So I guess she went on a podcast and she was saying like, I don't really know anything about wrestling. And she got some of the names wrong. And then my fucking wrestling news sites I go on the next day had like her picture. It was like WWE writer admits she knows nothing about it. And they fired her. And I was like, this is your fault.
You did this.
It might be different now that Vince is gone, but they didn't want people who are wrestling fans, and I think I revealed early on too much that I love wrestling, and they didn't want any part of me.
But it's so funny to then fire her.
Yeah,
you said you hired her for this reason,
but they don't. I'm sure they just don't want that. They don't want the insane, disgusting, smelly fans to know that the people who are writing the product that they hate are not fans of it.
I mean, I guess, but it's pretty shitty to turn your back on someone you just hired like that instead of just being like, yeah, we purposefully hire people that don't know about the lore so you can go to new places. It's a one sentence fix.
Yeah.
And not that the fans are going to be like, all right, but it's like, you're a company. You should stand by your fucking...
It does. I mean, it makes sense if you explain it. It doesn't always work out, but yeah, they want like new ideas. So
I
they don't want
respect
people in
that.
wrestling. Yeah,
I think they should do a little bit of both.
I think they do now that Vince is out because you watched the Vince
I
documentary.
watched the Vince documentary. We talked about it on the Patreon.
already did.
No, we
we'll
went
talk.
quickly.
We went really quickly about it. I don't think he's a good guy.
He doesn't seem great.
Doesn't seem like a
I
good
gotta
guy.
tell you, even in their interview, they're basically wanting to say he's a piece of shit, but you have to deal with it. That's the interview's not even fun. They're like, listen, we write all day, and then basically we tear up the script, me and the other head writer, this guy, and then we bring it to Vince, and like he tears it up, and then he says what he wants, and then we come back to you, and you try to piece it together. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of strategy is that? I should have been a dick, and I should have been like, that makes no fucking sense.
You guys are
Walked
fucking
out.
idiots.
Yeah,
I'll fight Vince
They
right now.
They would have hired me. I'm like, where's his office?
I'm gonna go fucking beat his ass.
I'd be running WWE right. If I just went in the biggest fucking buff, if I would have wore a big muscle suit, I should have done that. I can't fit in the door.
Dude, we were watching. It was I watched the part with him about the Montreal screw job, and it was like. One, it was like, that's so awesome he got to punch his boss in the face.
Yeah.
And two, I was like, in my head, I was like, I think because he was around so many other even bigger wrestlers, I don't think I ever really registered how big Bret Hart is.
Yeah.
Like, he's a fucking fridge.
Huge dude,
He's
man.
so big. And then it was just like seeing him like standing in the locker room after the Montreal screw job, just being like, that's one of the biggest guys that's ever existed.
He's a big dude.
It's insane.
Well, that's what they covered it because he was like small, him and Sean, because comparatively, because everyone else was fucking juiced to the gills before that. And they wanted to put smaller guys, and these are just like regular big guys. But yeah, how'd you feel about the Montreal screw job? What's your opinion?
I'm a little. I remember hearing a little bit about it a couple years ago for like the Vice thing, and I kind of watched it, wasn't really paying attention, and I'm like, oh, I felt for Bret Hart. I felt bad.
Yeah,
he seems like a very. What's the word here? I respect how much he cares.
He does.
And I respect that he's like he says, like, I'm an artist. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're trying to do that. I respect that. I also respect someone who's like, this is just a job and I'm doing the best I can. I respect that as well.
Absolutely.
What I don't respect is someone like, I don't try and I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
You either care or try.
It's one or the other.
One or the other. But I didn't know that. In my mind, I always thought that Bret got fired after, like, I didn't know that he knew he was leaving. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you can't take the title.
Yeah, that
you have to
would
give up the title.
I mean, that's what I side with. I think I don't want to say Vince is a bad guy, but that situation, what the fuck? And it's also like none of this is real. As he said, he's like, that belt's my property. You didn't actually win it. I gave it to you to hold.
I own that.
And
you're
now
borrowing it.
I wrote the story that you won it.
It's insane. And it is like these guys start believing in it too much. And I get it because you care, but fuck. And it's also like, yeah, why would the world champion fucking walk to the competition? Like, what sense does that make in your fucking head? So I was like, and Bret Hart's the most bitter man.
Yeah.
Goldberg, well, Goldberg kicked him in the head, gave him a concussion, pretty much ended his career. Terrible. But like, every interview, I'm surprised he didn't bring him up in the video. There's probably hours of footage.
Yeah.
Because someone asks him a question, he'll be like, fucking Goldberg, can't fucking work. And it's like,
It's too stiff.
Yeah, he's just like big bald Jew, and you're like, Jesus, Bret.
It's wild. And people have been paralyzed and like didn't take it as hard and stuff. And it's just like, leave this man alone.
Yeah.
Droz, D'Lo Brown
Droz had
paralyzed him, and
way
Droz
better
is like,
attitude.
things happen, man. I don't know.
It's just the business.
And what the fuck?
Was Goldberg who paralyzed Droz?
No, D'Lo Brown did.
D'Lo Brown.
It's just acts.
It
I mean, it's
happens.
wrestling. It's tough.
It's when you introduce gravity into the equation of combat, it's just the consequences just skyrocket. Like,
it's insane.
I talked to someone about this. I'm like, if I had to design a sport to hurt people, I'd either come up with American football, or do pro wrestling.
Yes.
It's just like built to injure.
Dude,
the gladiator stuff,
Yeah.
American Gladiator.
the section where Stone Cold was like, yeah, I just actually don't believe in CTE.
That blew my mind.
said that?
He
Okay,
said
I
that.
didn't finish it
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Oh
There's
my
a
God.
part where they talk about CTE.
Oh, wow.
And and he says, yeah, that CTE stuff. He's like, I just don't think I believe in it.
Oh boy,
He's like,
he's
Is it
gonna ruin
stand-
all his cat dad.
Yeah,
bread
exactly.
he's gotten.
Oh, it's cat glout. Glout?
Cat glout. Yeah, it's
Cat-
called glout with a cat.
Clout.
Yeah.
Cat clout.
Yeah. He doesn't believe in it, and Undertaker talking about being like, because he has his regular voice too.
Insane.
I just think it's we used to take chair shots to the head, and that was just part of the business.
He's dressed like AJ Soprano when he was trying to look tough. He looks ridiculous. I can't take him seriously. He's my favorite wrestler, and he's a dumbass.
Yeah, because the thing
Blue
is, they
Lives
had
Matter.
that.
Yes, come on.
Who was the wrestler who became a doctor? And he's the one that
Chris Nowinski. He's the one who did all this stuff.
TJ checked
Greatest pull-off.
Benoit's brain because Benoit's dad let him, and which is good for that.
I'm gonna say this too about Chris Benoit. I don't think he's a good guy at the end.
Guy.
At
At
the
the
end.
Tough. That's tough.
Because it is a good point where they were to demean the hardness of the badness of CTE. They have to place that on Chris Benoit's character. And like,
Yeah,
well, you're
we didn't
not
know
like
what
a
kind of
wrestling character,
monster
a
he
person.
was. Yeah.
You're a monster person. It's like I think it lies more in the disease that
it must.
you not necessarily allowed him to get, but that what it kind of nurtures.
Absolutely.
The flying headbutt would make CT.
That was the best part where they were like, no, it's a work. He's not really hitting his head. It's like, well, he's still jumping and his brain is smashing into his skull.
And he's also
every
so
night.
intense that he probably was really hitting his. Like that guy, he was my favorite wrestler, and it was like he was so intense and
So
cool.
intense.
I was on the beach on vacation with my girlfriend. And I just cried. She had to take me back to the. It was. No, this is what. All right, so now I remember. Yeah. We were going out to this dinner. It was with my college buddies. We got a house in Ocean City, Maryland, and like we didn't have much money. Me and my girlfriend. And they wanted to go to this fancy dinner at like a seafood place, and we're like, my girlfriend's like, we didn't budget for this, whatever. I'm like, we'll figure it out, whatever. And she was freaking out. And then she starts crying. I was like, Jesus Christ, women. But she's crying, and I have to like take her in the bathroom and be like, oh, I've got enough money. We'll figure it out. I get her calmed down. We get back to the table, and then my friend calls me. I pick up, and he's like, dude, Chris Benoit's dead. And right at that moment, there's the waitress was like, smile. I didn't realize she was taking a picture of everybody, so I'm just like. And I was so, I was so
It's
upset.
the worst moment of your life.
Yes,
God.
And like, my girlfriend is crying. I don't care about that. Chris Benoit is dead.
and his family.
The rabid Wolverine is gone.
It was horrible. And the next day is when I was just on the beach and I thought of it and cried.
Oh,
and
okay.
She dragged me back to the house.
How long was it for the average person? Like, because they showed it a little bit in the documentary between him dying and the average person learning about what he did.
So it was Sunday. He was supposed to be on a pay-per-view wrestling CM Punk for the ECW title, and he didn't show up. And he was sending weird texts to like Chavo saying like the dogs are in the
pool
enclosure.
house.
In the pool
Dogs are
house.
in the pool house.
And shit like that. It's like, this doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
But they didn't really say anything about it. They just said he didn't show up. And then the next day they realized he was dead and his family was dead, and they didn't know what happened. So that Monday Night Raw, they had like a whole tribute show for him.
Yeah.
With everybody like crying, telling stories. And I could see, if looking back, there's a few wrestlers I can see. I'm like, I think they know something fucked up happened because they're like emotional, but they're like holding back a little bit, and it's weird. And then the next day is when they figured out everything that happened, and they had another show that night. And Vince McMahon came out. They had a video of him first being like, "We'll never mention his name again," and that's it. And we're just gonna pretend this never happened. And then that was it. They just went on.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude, what an insane 3 days of WWE, because it's the day that Vince McMahon blew up his own limo and pretended he was dead, and then had to come out the next day to be like, just kidding, I'm alive, but Chris Benoit is dead. And his family, they're also
Worst
dead.
situation possible.
And then the next day he has to be like, Jesus Christ, we didn't like that guy ever.
that is a stressful. That's a stressful. He's like, actually, I am dead.
Yeah.
So
Fuck this.
let's go back to the limo thing.
Yeah, fuck, I should have stayed dead, actually.
It's horrific. And I can't, but watching this documentary is also, I don't know about you, because I knew it's kind of, this is why I've only been watching with Courtney, because she doesn't know, but it's everything. I've heard about the Montreal Screwjob 8 fucking billion times. I could tell the story out of my sleep. All these stories I've heard. So I'm not really, and also here's the thing.
Yeah, watching it with him is awesome because he doesn't know shit. So like knowing, because they do the Chris Benoit, like they do the Vince dying storyline. And then I was like, "Oh man, this is so good," because they don't mention Chris Benoit at all, and then they mention Chris Benoit for the next day, and I'm like, he's gonna fucking lose his mind.
Oh my god, it's
really
so wild.
crazy.
I can't wait to get to that with Courtney, even though I've cried to her about it as well.
Yeah.
But just her being like, I saw when Lex Luger jumped to WCW. I'm like,
Oh, you have no idea
so
the terrors.
so hard.
Well, the Owen Hart thing also, I remember I was a kid. I remember when it happened.
I was watching that live. Yeah.
I remember I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid. I really loved wrestling as a kid.
As most people.
I remember
grow out of it, yeah.
that happening, but I wasn't watching it. I remember hearing about it after the fact. I didn't know that they kept wrestling that night.
Yeah.
They just went along.
The clip of Jeff Jarrett being like, Owen, we're praying for you. And we love you so much. He's like doing like cutting a promo, and then he starts cutting a promo about his wife's puppies.
Yeah,
and it's like
really
really, he's
insane.
like, we love you, we're praying for you. His fucking blood's in the ring. He's dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, and Val Venus, stop talking about my wife's tits.
Oh my
And you're
God.
like, Jesus Christ, dude, shut the fuck up. Yeah.
It is a rude time for Val Venus to bring that up. Though,
Yeah, it is.
you know?
Really.
But it is fun to hear all this stuff and see, it get revealed.
Yeah.
And there is a thing, though. I'm not saying that Vince McMahon's a horrible guy, of course, but this director, I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately, especially this is the guy who made Tiger King and he made that chimp crazy
This
thing.
is the same guy.
Yeah. Did you watch the chimp one?
I watched the chimp one
I
with
didn't
Mac.
watch
And here's what I've noticed.
No good.
Watching documentaries is I can tell now when they're being like manipulative.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
in
yeah.
the chimp one, I'm like, clearly they kind of ran out of story here.
Truly.
Yeah.
So they're stretching it, and there's scenes like him being a clown at a birthday party. I'm like, that didn't happen. And they're editing it subjective. So like there's certain times when they'll play people's clips of them talking, where it's like clearly these are the people you're supposed to believe, and like these are the people you're not. And I'm just so when I'm watching these, because as the Montreal Screwjob, I've heard so many times, but it's usually from the side of like Vince was kind of right, and this was all like kind of.
Trying
Saying
to
that like
cleanse
Brett
it.
was right,
Yeah.
and that just pisses me off when I feel they're trying to
You should be
manipulate me.
almost omniscient. No, you should be like kind of like as a documentary. You should really have a side, and you should just present the
Yeah.
facts.
Because there's also like the documentary was made and then Vince got like all like the really bad stuff about Vince came out. So they had to add the like bumpers of like all of these interviews were placed before the allegations of him, blah, blah, blah.
But
like,
still, the end is they cover it all right. It really worked out well for them, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it
didn't see
really
the
worked
ending
out.
yet, but the perfect ending fell in their lap.
Pretty. This director is really lucky.
yeah.
It's like his Tiger King, because of the pandemic timing, everyone had
Yeah.
to watch it.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was good.
It was insane.
It was fun.
The guy was insane, and
He
it
was funny.
Yeah.
He was funny. Talking
Chimp
about, like-
Crazy, the first episode's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But then really just like, I don't care. And this, because it gets to the point where you're like, oh, this woman's insane. And you're like, you're kind of just kind.
Yeah.
Like you're insane in
She's
your own way.
a little dumb.
You're a little
which
dumb.
is, you
You
going to happen.
mean well.
Yeah. She
You
just
just
wants
have a
the
lot of
chimp.
love in your heart, and you're for some reason attached to monkeys. But it's like, I hate you actually.
Yeah,
I kind of
you're
hate
kind
the
of an
director.
And kind of
Stop
the
bothering this old woman.
that is really annoying. I hate when they bother them and just I forgot. I had another point, but it's gone.
Yeah.
So what a time, boys.
Yeah, I've definitely because how long has it been now since Vince is gone? It's only been like
It's been like a year or two now. It's probably
Yeah.
like no, wait, so it's right before last WrestleMania, right? Because that was like, or was it 2 WrestleManias ago when they were like, this is the
I think
first,
it was like last WrestleMania.
they're like, that was like the first fully produced Triple H.
well, because there was a time where he was like, I'm not doing it anymore. And then he was like, Vince was kind of like, I'm not doing it anymore. And then it felt like he was a little bit like, I'm back, just kidding. And then it was like, and he was shitting on people.
Yeah.
he
I
was
was
taking
shitting on
big
people.
dumps on people.
Well, they let
in
him-
a sexual way.
They let him back because they were selling the company, so it felt like he was the only one that could handle that or whatever. But yeah, then all the shit stuff
when he
came
came
out.
back with his mustache.
Oh, that looks
The little
insane.
mustache.
He hates facial hair too. I know he's got so many weird little quirks. So I don't know how that happened.
He's like Steinbrenner. These
he
people
really
that
is
are-
truly like Christian. Remember this guy Christian, great wrestler. Normal looking guy, and he thought he was like so ugly, and he would just like call him ugly. And he was
funny.
like, he
He's a
wouldn't.
pretty he's a pretty
He made him
good-looking
cut
guy.
his hair because he like, and he had an idea where he wanted to put. He's like, is there a way we could put like a blue dot over his face the whole time, so like he didn't have to look at his face? It's like, what the fuck is
hell
wrong?
is going
Like
on?
sincerely, that would be his gimmick.
Yeah, dude, he's like. I think the thing
man.
about Vince McMahon is that his like, for all the good things he's done, with women and stuff like that. I think he is purely evil.
He is.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he has been like it's a mix of like having an awful dad, becoming super rich, and becoming like the kind of benchmark of success in an industry where all of that together makes you like
Yeah.
evil.
And his stepdad beat the shit out of him. And So
Yeah.
it's a perfect storm of everything.
And he spent decades at a company that he ran where everyone was like, "You're a genius.
Yeah.
Everything you do is right."
You're
all
infallible.
All these big men are his best friend.
Dude,
He's a good dancer, though. Courtney loved that part where he was doing the stand back thing.
Yeah.
I want to dance like that. He's so powerful. I was like, Jesus Christ. I could even see Hulk being like, man, he's really going for it.
He's not holding back at all.
But yeah, Triple H has been running it better. This is why we're talking about AEW before. I feel like I'm just talking now. You guys can go. I'm sorry. I always feel like I'm talking.
We talked so much.
No, it's
But
great.
AEW, you know, it's the new company, and it was like the anti WWE because Vince is still running it, and it's a lot of emotional stuff. Because here's the thing: is the WCW stuff I loved in the documentary.
Yeah,
because I've seen the Monday Night Wars talked about fucking thousands of times, but it's always from like WWE's point of view.
Right.
So it's just
Right.
like they conquered. But seeing Vince whine that like Ted Turner's taking, and they're like, "This is exactly what you did," and he's like, "I don't see it like that," and it's like you're a fucking asshole. Like this is exact, and now you're whining about it. Shut the fuck up! You ruined all these other companies, and not saying he was wrong, but Eric Bischoff wasn't wrong either. And it was more entertaining. If you watch those old shows, WCW, the wrestling was so much better. I didn't realize as a kid the wrestling on WWE was bad in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, dude. When the point in the documentary where they're talking about like WCW winning the Monday Night Wars, they're like, "What are you gonna make another evil dentist and another version of Doink the Clown?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that does suck."
So then AEW came around, and that was like, this is when WWE they were getting all the Saudi money too. So this was hard for me because we're in this group chat with all these wrestling guys, very emotional, about 300 texts a day.
Dude, yeah. Sometimes I won't look at it for a couple hours. It'll be like 120 texts, and I'm like, I am so lost.
I don't know why you're still in there. Mike never responds.
I don't respond anymore.
He just wants to be in it.
I like having a connection to these guys that I like.
Yeah.
Like I like every once in a while I like popping in. I like seeing what you guys are arguing about.
Yeah.
I like every once in a while being like, and this is where you can find the Oreo Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah.
Stuff
Mike,
like that.
there's one thing about Mike. He likes having his finger in different pies.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of a big bad wolf in that way.
He's a big pie finger.
Yeah. Don't leave me around your windowsill, you know?
He'll float over. He'll float right over to that.
So these are all my, and we were all watching WWE. I feel like I kind of got some of the buddies back into it, so I felt happy and stuff. And then they all started kind of turning it against WWE and going towards like independent or Japanese and AEW, which is great. But I was like, I felt a little hurt, I think, because it's like you're watching like the NFL with all your buddies, and then they're like, NFL's evil. We're watching the CFL. And you're like, I already know all this stuff. And I don't want to look for something else.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to learn Japanese to watch. But anyway,
that's the thing with the like New Japan stuff. I'm like, if I have to hit the translate button on Google, at the top of Google Chrome, I'm out.
I didn't even know they had that. It's wild.
Yeah.
But so AW is better, and but this is the reason for because now I like AW better too. Well, here's the thing: AW is better, WWE, but since Vince left, it's gotten way better.
Okay.
So it's like, but AEW also like gave them the boost to like actually have to be better because they didn't have competition.
Right, they had no competition.
Forever.
Yeah.
But now,
and like capitalism, competition, and
absolutely,
raises.
And with all these wrestling fans, and I was like this with WCW, even it was like it's like WCW's. I just noticed that. I don't know why.
Yeah, goosebumps. Yeah, dude.
It was really
excited
up.
talking about wrestling. You're thinking about the Monday Night Wars.
The Monday Night Wars get me going.
Thinking about DX driving that tank to Monday Nitro.
I wrote an article about how stupid that was.
Yeah.
It was published on a website. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. Big blackcocks.net. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of it.
They're trying articles for a while.
We've shown all the big black cocks. We need articles. But it's the people online. It's like everybody's trying to tear down AEW now, and it's like it is like a capitalist mindset. And it's also I feel like these people were made like they were dumb, like WWF, which a lot of them are. But AEW fans were seen as like kind of like smart, more like knowledgeable guys, and I think they shit on them a lot, and they got their feelings hurt. And now it's these like fucking losers, one goal in life to see this company that's making the thing they supposedly like and employing all these people they supposedly love and giving them a job. They just want it torn apart because they had their feelings hurt once.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they were made to feel inferior for liking it,
and now it's their whole personality at AEW. I had a buddy who said it's unwatchable. I'm like, tell me how it's unwatchable, please,
Yeah.
please. And he couldn't give any examples. I'm
What,
like,
what did we go see? What,
We went to Forbidden Door, which is AEW and,
AEW,
and
okay.
New Japan.
Oh, okay, okay.
Together. That's the
with Zach?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
so jealous.
You
of
open the
That was so
forbidden.
rad.
You open the Forbidden Door between America and Japan.
I did it.
You did.
that's what the door.
You're
is.
welcome with my submission
You
prowess.
did it. The nuke shut it.
Yeah,
you
dude.
opened it up.
It was. I mean, those like I don't care about wrestling really, but like I mean, getting to see Zach is always fun. But being that close to anything, I'm like, I'll watch anything.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
We were like
I'll go see
4
table
rows
tennis.
back.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane.
And the person sitting in front of us was
Dancing Jermaine and Scott Chaplin.
Oh, really?
Just
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
to be
yeah.
That
sitting
worked out great.
Yeah, we just-
directly in front of
we
us.
just sit down. And I'm like,
Damn it.
Scott? And he just turns around. He's like, what the hell?
Damn it. I've been trying to get in with those boys. I want free wrestling stuff.
Yeah, they're fucking.
They're not
really
gonna-
care about it.
They really care about it.
So
Damn
funny.
it.
Yeah. I wish I still cared about it.
I really don't care about that much anymore, and that's been over the past couple of months. It's been very hard to watch it.
That's
And
this is what I realized though. It was during the pandemic.
that definitely helped.
That helped. That was like I was like, oh, I don't know if I care about watching wrestling. I care about hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, the
like I
hanging out part
loved
was fun.
I loved going to Scotland's house and watching wrestling with everyone because I'm like, oh, we're hanging out and we're eating chips
Yeah.
and we're having a good time and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then it was like, hey, there's 5 to 22 hours of wrestling to catch up on every week, and I was like, I'm actually just gonna like try to get pussy.
Yeah, hell
I'm
yeah.
actually just gonna try to have sex and make further my career and try to make money.
Yeah. That's a lot of wrestling fans aren't in that same mindset.
Are you
And-
thinking about the next, let's say, hobby for lack of a better
Well,
word, passion?
Because you
I-
also like football. You like
I like football. I like football a lot, but yeah, especially going and watching it with my wife, who is
Huge fan.
insane about it.
Rabid
I
fan.
feel
Yeah.
like I don't really care about this that much. Also, I'm a Patriots fan. Here's the thing: I started watching the Patriots like the year before Tom Brady started playing because I wanted to be close to my dad, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But then, so basically, my whole life of a football fan was just like dominance and Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So it's a weird place to be where nobody really has any sympathy when I complain about it, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I don't know, rooting for them now. I feel like we deserve to be bad for like 100 years.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the next passion is, it's not only, I've been watching wrestling, I play video games. I play my wrestling video game.
Yeah, yeah.
If I have any free time, I play that. And the only time I watch TV is at night. And I don't want to watch men yelling at each other. I usually put on like a murder documentary.
Okay.
Because they don't yell as loud.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm always finding new passions. I started collecting wrestling action figures. I don't know if you saw my pictures.
Hulk Hogan right there.
Yeah, I
We
saw
threw
that
away
one.
a whole bunch
We were already
yesterday.
talking
Fuck.
about it.
Dude, he came in and he was like, "Where's this from?"
This is how great, because I know I was like, that's not the original LPN WWF model. Who is that? And he's
that's
like, it's the WCW
That's the
one.
WCW one, yeah. Because I had that one. I don't know. I have this one. I had that one. That is from my childhood, and I also had the same unmovable Sting.
Oh
But
yeah,
Surfer.
yeah,
It was
sure.
Surfer Sting.
Those ones I don't like. That's the new
Yeah.
ones. They've got beautiful clothing, and like,
Yeah.
and they move. You take their hands off
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
heads.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I getting? Just and
The,
then,
the fact, because like I had a bunch of the WWF ones, and you could at least move the arms and legs on
Yes.
those.
Yes, you need to
And now they
articulate.
have like you could move the wrist,
thing,
you could move
everything.
the
It's
joints,
wild. You can go in their pockets.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
a lot.
Let's
There's a bunch of syringes in there.
Let's see what Roman Reigns is carrying around.
But I love
Magnum
them.
condoms.
Yes, he is. I popped some in there.
Yeah.
I borrowed them from Diego. I buy it, and I was very excited. And I was spending like $40 a pop, and now I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these?
Yeah.
Because I tried to play it. You can't play it. I'm just bashing plastic. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. And then I started taking pictures, but people weren't. I don't know. I got home drunk and high, as I do. And I started looking at my figures, and I thought it would be funny to recreate a scene from the Pelican Brief,
Yeah, I'm already on
the
board.
1993 film. Denzel Washington,
yeah,
Julia Roberts.
Classic.
And I did it, and I was like, I want a very mundane scene, but it says like, so I took a picture and I dressed the wrestling toys up. I'll show you guys.
Yeah, please show me.
And I did a great job. I like made little lamps. I was doing it for hours. This is it was like 4 a.m. I was like, what am I doing?
Your wife is like, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
She woke up the next day and
Honey,
saw
do you
the
wake
whole
up?
the whole
Do you
play.
have a tiny leather briefcase?
Yeah.
She saw the whole play set still set up and was
Oh,
like, what
my
are you
God.
doing? But I got really this is the scene from the Pelican Brief. I don't know if you want to show the camera.
I'll show the camera. Yeah.
It's Denzel saying, what's he say? You can read it.
Want to talk about the brief? Everyone I've told about the brief is dead. I'll take my chances.
That's what happens. So I did that, and then if you go to swipe to the next one,
Yeah. Oh,
I remade it, and I put I made this little lamp. I put this little picture here. I dressed them all up.
Oh my god! And tell them who the wrestlers are.
That's Keith Lee as Denzel Washington and AJ Styles, who I really need to get some female figures because he's playing all the women characters.
Because he has long hair.
He's got long hair. And just
send that to me right now. So
I'll
put it on the Instagram for a little time.
Awesome.
And I posted this, and people in person were like, "Buddy, what's going on? What is that?" And they're like, I don't know, I just thought it would be funny. They're like, I didn't know what it was. Like, I was like, yeah, I guess I didn't put much context. I just said the Pelican Brief. I didn't really, I didn't explain what it was or why this was happening. So I thought I was being shadow banned. I was like, nobody's. But yeah, that's what I've been
concerned for you.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that if you do it once, people are like, what the fuck is wrong? If you do this 80 times, you have a career.
I know.
You'll have a career.
I'll show you a new picture.
You'll be like the mom from Hereditary.
Oh my! That's my dream. I've always wanted a headless daughter.
I always wanted my kid to die.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't give a fuck.
She's not headless at the beginning, but I set up a new one, and I'll show you.
Yeah, please. Oh, you haven't posted it yet, right?
I haven't posted because it's going to take a lot of work. I actually might have to write this one out. It's coming up. Here, talk amongst yourselves. I'm bad at finding pictures.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've only been
that's
talking
how
about
social
wrestling.
media it tends to work. Like people follow someone for a couple of reasons. One, you know them personally, obviously. Get that out of the way. B, you are providing some level of entertainment, right? You break down street fights. You say something funny. You do reels of your stand-up sets, things like that.
Yeah.
Things like that.
You ask people what they do for work. You ask two people if they're fucking.
If they are fucking, if they're indeed fucking, if you've talked to a black guy before.
You ask a guy if his shirt is the reason he's homosexual.
If his shirt comes in for men.
Hey, steal that? That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, excuse me, sir. Is your shirt the reason you are homosexual?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, it's a new Russian act.
Yeah.
The guy just came to learn to do stand-up.
That's me meeting Joe Biden. Yeah. What'd you say, Jack?
And third, for jacking off reasons.
Yeah.
Those are really the
That's
only
my
reasons.
primary Instagram. I just like seeing titties,
Yeah.
and then everything else is pissing me off.
That's awesome.
Because it's not titties or kittens.
Can I, before you show me,
Yes.
Don't tell me what it is. Let me see if I can guess.
I think you can.
Okay.
There you go. Can you guess what's going on?
I mean, I can guess what's going on. Is it from a movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not from a movie.
All right, I get it.
I was setting up a scene where the boys have to do comedy. And I made this whole backdrop, and I made the Bone Zone
Comedy
Awesome.
Club.
As you see, I gave up on making the bricks pretty quick. I was like, I'm not fucking doing this all night. So I stopped. But I'm going to have a whole thing. Like, he's going to be like an anti-cancel culture type comedian.
Yeah.
They're all going to be bad. One of them's going to be really good. And then he's going to start shooting up to the top, and everyone's going to be mad. So this is a whole, you can see why the undertaking's pretty big, you know. I got to get my finances in order. And we're waiting on Paramount.
I will say the movie ones will do better.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's a connection to people. They're like, it's the same thing. There's people's like, oh, me.
Yes.
I like that.
I
know what
should.
that is.
That was like the YouTube video we watched of that guy who made the really detailed clay.
Yeah, Bobby Fingers.
Yeah.
Bobby Fingers.
He makes clay models,
Uh-huh.
and they're like that, but small, like that. Like
Oh,
like
really?
And then he talks over it and tells a story.
Oh, all
And he
right.
shows his process, which is very time intensive.
But it's
And
like
then
oh, here's the clay model of Mel Gibson getting pulled over for DUI.
Oh, that's
for
fun.
DUI.
That's
yeah.
great.
they're really
I
good.
love
They're
that.
YouTube. I'll show
It's
you. I'm not gonna
crazy.
show you the whole thing. But
Those are very fun.
They're like 35-minute long videos
see
because
how-
it's like you watch him like shave a ball
Yes.
into Mel Gibson.
That's beautiful. And he was probably already doing that. That's the thing.
And it's like Steven Seagal
Oh,
when he
that's
shit
gorgeous.
himself. Yeah,
I
it's
love it.
really.
Yeah.
He gets like X-ray models of people's faces. Like it's really.
That's incredible.
He really goes above
So
and
he's
beyond.
passionate about it. This is like you with your fight videos, which I love because I've already seen a lot of fight videos. I always watch. How's this? Let me ask you about your Twitter because sometimes I'll follow like fight accounts, and then sometimes I'll log on Twitter and it'll just be a fucking guy getting his head blown off.
Yeah,
first
man.
thing in the morning, and I'm like, that's not similar.
That's
Dude,
not a fight, really.
I literally watched a
the
video where I
fuck?
thought it was going to be these guys fighting, and I didn't notice that the guy's holding a cleaver in each arm, and the guy walks over and goes, boom, and just like, wham, a fucking so much blood. I'm like, I didn't want to watch a murder.
I've seen so many murders on Twitter. I'm like, I thought this is. I woke up the other morning and I saw this couple from the security, their partner or their neighbor just came and shot them both in the street. And I'm like, what? This is not a fight.
Okay, but what did they do?
They were yelling and calling him a pussy. It was kind of their fault.
Yeah.
And they said he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't shoot
and he
him.
fucking
And he said, I will.
He fucking did.
I will.
My favorite image is the police thing where it's like, guy who was stabbed. What are you going to do, stab me?
Yeah, that's so funny. I love it. But you found a thing that's similar to your interest that is like, here's the thing is the constant battle, kind of what I was talking about before, is balancing out. Like, I like to follow my muse, you know? The action figures, it's something my head just told me to do that.
Yeah.
And this is my approach to stand up and everything, is because I feel like every time I try to make something in the hopes that people will like it, it comes off very false and people don't like it. So I've realized I can only do what I want to do and follow whatever my creative juices are telling me and hope people like it. And usually they don't. And usually it leads me to taking pictures of my action figures at 4 a.m.
Sure.
But that, you never know what's going to crack. And I can't think of something that people might like.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. In my experience, the way I view it is you should be honest to your muse. You shouldn't sit there and go, what do people like? You should sit there and go, what attracts, what creates passion? Because if, let's say,
even though there's so many comics we know that are like, what do people like? And then they do it and they become successful. And then you watch their clips and you're like, if I could strangle you, I would do it.
Sure. But the way I think of it is like, let's say you're like, oh, people like pancakes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make pancake. And then let's say it works.
Yeah.
And when you do fucking pancakes for the rest of your life, that seems like you fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, sure.
So find your muse or listen to your muse, create something, but don't expect it to be like, oh, you hit it. You did it once and everyone loves it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you like doing it and it's something that you find some like kind of like reward in the process, or it's like, oh, I have to just keep making them.
Yeah,
and it's like, Eric, the guy who painted this, my buddy, Eric, he always talks about when we were younger, talk about like a body of work.
Yeah.
And he's like, just create. Keep creating. And then one day, 8 years from now, someone's going to go, oh, what have you been doing? It's like, well, look at all this.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
And I think that's the move. And it's hard and it's good. And I think I do like, because when I post stuff, I've gotten past, everyone's talking about social media and how much it drains them and all this stuff. And I used to be on there a lot too. And I've gotten past the point where I don't really care. I don't know. I still very much want people to like me, but it's like I'll post something and I won't look to see if anyone liked it for like days. And I'm like, oh, I've really grown. And I think a big part of that was also because like we went away for a week, I had no service. And when I came back, I had so many DMs that now my phone just stresses me out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, that's the way to get over social media, is to have it just seem like work and stressful. And I mostly just hide my phone and don't look at it. It's mentally healthy.
Oh, good.
But not great. But yeah, I agree. Just keep making stuff, and
if you like
it'll pop out.
Yeah,
that's what comedy.
But with this kind of stuff, with comedy, it's like it almost seems like everyone has to have a secondary passion project that can A, feed the algorithm, and then B, like it's useful to be like, oh, you're so and so, you're the blank guy. Like it's useful for people to have that kind of way to compartmentalize you or categorize you. I guess
people need to categorize stuff.
Speaking of categories, why don't we take a little stroll down to the energy drink?
Oh, daddy!
Whoa,
what a beautiful lavender!
Oh, buddy,
can,
you have no idea what you're in for.
That looks good.
Actually, neither of us do, because this is an Australian energy drink. It was sent to us. We got a beautiful care package from Lena. Thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena. I can't do it. Australian.
Thank you.
No, everyone does
yeah,
not.
fucking cunt.
There we go.
I can't find her. She has a dog washing business. What's the word for washing a dog?
Dog grooming.
Grooming.
Hey.
So
don't groom dogs, by the way. Don't get a puppy and then make it fall in love with you when it's little, and then when it grows up and it's old enough to have sex with you, do it. Don't do that.
Is this based on something?
No, just grooming. No. Just grooming in general.
See, sure. The grooming. I get it.
So
I get the joke.
Yeah.
So funny.
Idiot.
I'm sorry. Should an action figure have said the joke?
I thought you you got a puppy and brought it to the groomer, and then they lost it or something.
No,
but then you said the sex thing, and I was lost.
That can't be right. So this is
V.
Yeah.
Refresh. It's blackcurrant and yuzu.
Okay.
Isn't that what they inject in the boys to make them superheroes? Do you guys watch that show?
No, I never watched it.
No.
There's something called V. Yeah, I think that's. So this might make us.
They've had this, but when I was going to Australia all the time for whatever reason, don't worry about it.
None of your business.
They have V has a blue flavor.
Oh, we got a couple of these. She said these were her favorite.
Her favorite?
Yeah, Lena, the one who sent this.
Yeah.
No poem. 0 sugar, 16 calories per can.
0 sugar is awesome.
Crisp, light, refreshing.
Hey.
What is your energy drink regimen? How often are you drinking? Do you drink them? Are you just a coffee guy?
I used to do a lot of energy drinks and coffee. I've kind of slowed down. Well, I was diagnosed with a severe ADHD.
I'm sorry.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Did anyone see that coming? So now they've got me on this Adderall, so I don't really drink energy drinks anymore because I don't want my heart to explode. But I used to have a big coffee in the morning and then a big energy drink in the afternoon before mics and stuff. I'm a very sleepy man.
There you go. There you go. And cheers to friendship.
Cheers.
And
Nice
cheers to
little
the wonderful continent of Australia.
Thank you to Australia. And I'll be there in November, so yeah, come to those shows. I think they're sold out, but
Okay.
Sorry, it's just a bit. I don't want to ruin it. I'll clean it up.
this rug has
That's pretty
seen
good.
a lot.
That's nice.
That's really good, actually. The blackberry's nice.
Yeah,
this is interesting.
It's layered. It's I would say it's
The texture is interesting, silky.
texture. Oh, it is.
It is. It's smooth. What's the other? Yuzu? Is that like a? That's one of those potatoes.
Japanese citrus.
Citrus. That's
Yeah.
lovely.
It feels like it's coating my
so
tongue
nice. Yeah.
in a way that is interesting, not in a bad way.
I knew this would happen. My heart's gonna explode.
Yeah. the Adderall.
Man,
That's good stuff. Yeah.
it's very nice.
It doesn't taste like an energy drink at all.
That tastes like a
this
real
almost-
drink.
This almost tastes like a sober person alcohol. Like oh, here you
Oh,
go.
like a little
Yes.
cocktail.
yeah, a little mocktail. This is nice.
It's very nice. Back when I did energy drink, I would have loved this. I used to do Full Throttle was my favorite, and that's hard to find. That's harder
it's
to
tough to
find.
find.
Yeah, that's only at the Dollar General.
Yeah, they had it in the food hall at my college, and I think that's where I got
Oh,
hooked.
yeah,
But I'll go with a Monster over a Red Bull. I want the flavor. Sugar's my favorite food,
Sugar rocks. Sugar's the fucking
and I
best.
want it.
So we rate it 0 out of 5. 0, you hate it. 5.
I'm saying 5.
5, you like. Hold on. Here. 5,
Sorry.
5, you like it so much you're gonna search it out online
Oh.
to purchase it. But you can still say
4. Yeah. I'm gonna search online for shit.
It's not a fucking wrestling figure. He's not gonna
I know.
buy it online.
Oh God, I want to go. There's probably some new figures. I gotta go get them.
Man, this is really nice.
I still check when I go to like Target and
They
stuff.
just look so cool.
just to be like, what figures they got here?
Me too. I did before I bought them too, but
Yeah.
it's like they're so beautifully crafted. It's so cool. I
used-
can't get over it. Their clothes are awesome.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid being like at the toy store or whatever, or like at the store with my mom and being like, can I get another wrestling figure? And she'd be like, no, they're too expensive. I was like, you guys have jobs?
Hell yeah.
Buy me the fucking figure. It's
Hell yeah.
$15.
Yeah.
They
Get
used-
me it.
It's only 2 hours of your day.
Oh my
of
God.
your job.
They used to be $6.92, I remember, because when I was a boy, I had a whole arena built in my room. I didn't have any friends at the time. That was 9th grade, I remember. It should be in younger. I try to think back, and I was like, what was I, 10? I was like, no, I was 14.
Yeah.
And
Full pubes.
No, you know my puberty
Oh, yeah,
situation.
that's true.
I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what led to the
That's
no
true.
friends and the wrestling
yeah,
figures.
yeah.
But I would steal quarters out of my sister. My sister had like a big tub of change.
Yeah.
And I would take the bus, which my mom's boyfriend drove, wouldn't give me a free fucking ride.
Insane.
And I had to take the bus, and it was just me on there, and he would drive me on the bus, just him
A
and
weird
I,
limo.
not talking, to Walmart, a town over, and then I would get one of these figures for $6, and I would write storylines in school every day, and I would go and act them out at home, and I had like this stack of storylines this big. We lost them in a flood. Very sad. Like, I wanted to
Because you
find
could have
them.
brought those to your interview for WWE.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But
You come in
I was
with a
obsessed.
full filing cabinet on a,
On wheels.
on a
oh my
cart.
God, I can't imagine the fucking shit. It's probably there's probably so much hateful shit that I didn't even realize
Oh,
was
yeah,
problematic
yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
But
A boy's heart is problematic, and that's beautiful.
yes, I agree. Thank you. I didn't know what you said. What'd you say?
A boy's heart is
A boy's heart is problematic, you said, and I agree. But my dad would always buy. My dad would visit every 2 weeks. He'd buy them for. My mom would never get us anything, of course. But that was like he never said the first time he ever said no to me to buying something. It's like not like he had a bunch of money, but he just like gave us a toy. And I held up a Perry Saturn. And I remember at this point I was like, I shouldn't really be doing this anymore. I was just like, I need someone to. And my dad just goes, no. I'm like, yeah.
That makes sense.
I need someone to call it.
Yeah.
And he finally did, and then I didn't play with him until recently. So it's a little bum about me.
Well, I give this a 4.5.
4.5.
Oh, yeah.
For the energy drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna
good.
go.
No.
I'm gonna go 4.25.
Okay.
Very good though.
It's
No, I'm
very
gonna give it
good.
4.25. I think
Okay.
you're right. 4.5 is high.
I didn't know we could do points,
Yeah,
but
it is.
I'll stick with 4.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. But thank you so much, Lena, for
Mailed
the
them
energy
from-
drinks all
mailed
the way
them
from
from-
Australia.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you,
is.
Lena.
$112 shipping.
Wow.
$112 Australian, which is about 32.5 cents American.
Yeah.
Very good to
It's
know.
trash money.
We appreciate it. If you ever want
Yeah.
to send any energy drinks, any energy drinks, DM me.
Yeah.
If you find a Full Throttle, mail it over.
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Send a couple Full Throttles for Casey. We'll get him over to him.
We'll get him over to him, no problem. Since you talked about the Pelican Brief,
Yes.
are you on Letterboxd?
I am, but I don't know if I've done any reviews.
0.
I may have. I don't know. Why? Is this part of the segment?
A little bit. I like to ask the guests what their top 4 is.
Let me see. Is it an app or is it a website?
It's
this
an
is
app.
how dumb I am. I don't know. I don't think I have the app.
Okay.
Here, you guys, Letterboxd. So you want to know my top? Oh, I do have it. All right. So the top 4 are probably the 4 I've rated. Oh, I didn't.
No, you
create
can
an
also just
account.
tell us tell me what
my
your
4 favorite movies
are. You don't have to like.
All right, I will say my 4 favorite movies. This is great. They asked for 4 because I'm not sure because I used to say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind used to be my favorite.
Oh, used to be your favorite.
It still is a little, but I don't know. I think Blue Valentine. Have you seen that with Ryan
No.
Gosling, Michelle
No.
Williams? I clearly love a movie where people fall in love and it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But I was watching that. I think they put it on Netflix right after I went through a breakup, and
Yeah.
I watched it like 5 times.
It was on my
in a week.
to-watch list
I love it so
for a
much.
long time. I never watched
It's the parts where they're falling in love are so sweet, you know. And
Yeah.
of course it's gonna go bad, but yeah. And then I feel like they took it off because they were worried about me. But and I don't rewatch movies that much, so that one I watch constantly. And then other favorites. Oh my god. I used to say blue is the warmest color to sound smart, but I did really love that movie. It's the lesbian French movie.
Yeah.
And then to make it
movies
fun,
with colors in them.
yes, and about love and about, but I'll say Anchorman to clean it up at
All
the
right.
end.
All right.
So we got Anchorman, Blue's Warmest Color, Blue Valentine,
Eternal Sunshine.
and Eternal Sunshine of the
Yes.
Spotless Mind. Wow.
Pretty fun stuff.
Did you ever have like a breakup movie or something like that where you just kept watching it over and over again? Where you're like, I'm going through something.
Probably
and then-
Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That one I watched a lot. And I was like, kind of like, I'm sad right now. I'm going to watch Stranger Than Fiction.
I read that book.
I didn't know it was a
can't
book.
say that about much.
Yeah.
Wait, that's Will Ferrell, right?
Will Ferrell, yeah.
mhm.
Will Ferrell, and he's the character in a book that someone is currently writing
Yes,
at the same
it
time.
was a great book. And Will Ferrell's is great. And I say Anchorman. I feel like, I don't know how you guys feel about Anchorman. It's been robbed from us by all the straight white men who aren't funny.
Yeah.
But I remember when I saw it in the theater for the first day, it was everything I wanted.
Lost my mind.
I laughed from
Went
the
crazy.
first. I think he said the arsonist has the oddly shaped feet. I laughed from the opening line to the
Yeah.
fucking credits, and that's never happened in my life. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah,
it was great.
it's phenomenal.
Will Ferrell's a man.
My-
He's a man.
And I hate to see what he's doing now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, let him get his money from the Amazon commercials or whatever.
Yeah, they're brutal. They're
tough.
so brutal. I was in a hotel.
I was talking
room.
about the trans documentary. He just
Oh yeah, there's that one too.
that's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That's
I did. I saw the
That's
I'm
preview.
being that kind of a bad
Yeah,
person.
no,
I
dude.
get
I
it.
saw the preview for that when I was at the movies the other week, and I was kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
Courtney was
beautiful.
watching. She's
Oh,
full
get
on
me.
bawling.
yeah,
it'll get
I said, I'm sitting in the other room. No, I didn't.
dude. I was watching.
Play with my fingers. Shut up.
I was watching. We're doing the Pelican Brief again.
Where's the brief in this movie? I don't understand. There's no birds.
How brief was his Pelican cameo? I didn't see it at all.
But I was watching like TV in the hotel last weekend or whatever, and I don't watch cable TV anymore, so I don't see like commercials like
It's fun to
that.
do that a little
I
bit.
like watching commercials now because it's like a glimpse into the outside world.
It is. It also feels like I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to choose anymore. I don't have to choose another thing to watch.
It's so nice.
But I saw whatever those fucking commercials that have Will Ferrell in them. They're like, no, it's like so brutal. It's like, dude, how much money do you need?
I think he just wants to stay. I don't know. I feel it's tough. You get to a certain age and maybe you're just not funny anymore. And if
Yeah.
things are going well for you for so long, I don't know.
I mean,
what reason do you have to be funny? There's nothing
Yeah.
funny. Everything's great.
That's the old Sinbad quote.
Absolutely.
The comedians are funniest when they're riding the bus.
And that's why I ride the bus. That's why I've got no
That's
money
why
forever.
Madamov rides the bus.
in the close up, yeah.
We watched an Iranian film from 1990 last night,
Ah.
and he rides the bus, but he's
Yeah.
he's supposed to be a famous director.
I
It's
see.
a good joke if you watch the Patreon.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All
Um,
right.
what the fuck was we just?
I don't know. What do you boys? I got to pee again. Should I
Go
go
pee,
now?
go pee, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
go pee.
The bathroom's
you
literally
guys
behind
talk.
on the
There's
other side of
another,
this door.
there's another one right behind you.
We got
have
two.
to.
Yeah, we got two.
Yeah, we have.
Or two bathrooms up here.
Yeah,
Ooh, I should leave this door open a little bit. That felt nice.
get a little breeze
Yeah,
in
we
here.
got to figure out the
Air.
ventilation
I
situation.
think we just put the fan over there. It's
yeah.
fine.
Okay.
It feels less echoey with a third person in here.
It does. It really
You
is
know?
funny how it works that way. Like it's
He's a big beefy guy.
big
dude.
beefy guy. We'll put up
Whatever. We'll put some stuff up on the
We'll
ceiling.
do like the hustle and flow. We'll get all the things from the cup holders from McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
We spend way more money on buying 4 sodas at a time than just buying that foam.
Dude, what's his fucking name? Terrence Howard. Doesn't he have a micro penis?
Allegedly micro penis, and also a lot of opinions about math and.
Oh yeah, he said, was it 1 + 1 is 3?
Yeah,
Or something,
shit.
or 2 + 2 is 3. It's like a thing where he was just like, it's actually like this.
Yeah, it's actually, how can it be like that?
Yeah,
if it's like this?
dude. That was, oh no, that wasn't him. Never mind. There was, I was at the Fat Black Pussycat one day.
Comedy club, everybody.
And I was there with a friend of the show, Ari Findling. And there was a guy at the bar who looked really rough.
I'm going to see if this is in frame because I might just leave the door open.
Yeah. But there was a guy who was looking really rough. It was like a black guy who had like bleached blonde hair, but it was the way that it's bleached and it's orange.
Yeah.
And he had like 3 cornrows, and he was with 2, I would say, husky white women.
Okay.
And
Oh, you leave that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Ari bet me $5 that it was Cuba Gooding Jr. And I was
awesome.
like, there's no fucking way. Cuba Gooding Jr. doesn't look like shit like that. And he wouldn't be at the Fat Black Pussycat with 2 ugly fat women.
Yes, you don't know anything about Cuba Gooding Jr.
And then
he looks like
there.
it was
Yeah,
him.
He was there. Yeah. This was years ago.
like-
Yeah, I had to pay Ari $5 because he
Oh my
bet me that it
God.
was. Also, Ari is one of the most like he has like a Rolodex of actors in his head.
Oh, acting.
Like
that
he
name.
knows every actor, but he was like, let's give you a good Jr. I was like, no fucking way. He goes, I bet you $5. I go, oh, you fucking on, dude. And then it was a really bad time for me to lose $5.
Yeah, it was a
I
tough month.
really didn't need to lose $5.
Ari didn't need
to
it,
Ari.
that piece of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. That's when he still had a fucking
Modell's job.
yeah, dude. When he was getting us all socks and underwear and
But so many shitty clothes you gave me that are the wrong size, and I had to act all appreciative.
Yeah, no,
thanks for
thanks,
this.
bud.
Thanks for this medium Under Armour shirt, buddy. I love it.
thanks, man. It really sticks to me.
It's fucking.
Have you had any celebrity interactions in New York City?
Here's the thing that happens to me all the time. I don't know if it's facial blindness or I just can't remember anyone.
Okay.
I was talking to, I don't want to say that, I'll tell you. I was talking to one of our friends, who's a comedian. He's bald with a little like beard, and I was talking to him the other day, and then he went to sit down, and he sat behind this other comedian friend who's bald with a little beard, and I realized I thought I was talking to the other guy the whole time.
Oh my God.
That happens to me, and I'm good friends with both of them. But every day I think I
They've
see.
been to my wedding. I'm sorry.
I must have told Courtney I've seen Fran Lebowitz 100 times. She's like, it's just a small Jewish woman. Not every small Jewish woman is Fran Lebowitz.
I stood next to
I
Fran
swear to
Lebowitz.
God. So I don't know if I've seen. You did?
Yeah, the
You
airport.
Sure?
I'm 100% sure.
All right, good.
Because I have a huge crush on her.
Oh, hey,
Not
she's
now,
fun.
but like when she was younger,
Yeah.
and now still. But we were both for some reason at the Tampa airport flying to New York City. It was really sick.
I'm sure she
I
loved it
just
there.
looked at her a
I'm sure
lot.
she loved it there.
Dude, I stood behind what's his name at the airport? Ron Perlman.
Big Ron Perlman.
Hey.
Hellboy.
He's not as tall as you think he is.
No, I
Yeah.
meant his
He's
penis.
He's wide.
Big-
He's
big
wide.
penis.
He has incredibly big feet.
I knew
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And so I like looked down. I was like, man, this guy's got crazy big feet. And I was like, this guy has really big shoulders. He's really wide. And then I was like, that's motherfucking Ron Perlman.
Holy shit.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
but he was only like an inch or two taller than me, and I was like, huh, interesting.
Wow.
But he
Actors
was
are all
probably
tiny people, so
Yeah.
anyone that looks big.
But because it was him, I was like, I was like, oh, he's Hellboy. He's 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
He was like 6 foot, 6'1", and just like, all right, just here. But he was like wide.
Because you've seen both Hellboys.
Yeah.
How big is David Harbour? How big
Oh,
was
David
he?
Harbour's big as fuck.
Oh,
He's-
you've seen his
really?
big
yeah,
as
I
shit.
saw him. I saw him.
Did that sentence come out insane to you guys? You both looked at me funny.
Because I forgot who the
Just
second
the fact
Hellboy
that
was.
you knew that he had seen both
Oh,
Hellboys.
because I saw.
I'm like,
best
you
friend
guys
the
know
whole
a
way.
lot. I wouldn't know that about my best friend.
I saw. I
You
saw.
live with your best friend? No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, I wish.
Yes, you do. You live with your
So
wife. Who's your
divided
best friend?
What?
You live with your wife. Who's your best friend?
I would no,
so
it's not
funny.
her. It'd be Will Winter, but he abandoned me and started a family.
abandoned us,
and got
too.
sober
Yeah.
and got abs. The piece of shit.
Dude, it's.
He said he'd never start a family.
Yeah, he said he would never move to New Jersey.
Oh my god! And I love. Whenever I move to New Jersey, they're like, "Oh, it's only like a 20-minute train." I'm like, "I'm never seeing you again." What are you talking about?
Never seeing
Everyone that moves to New Jersey says that, and it's never. Whenever I take the New Jersey Transit, seems like it takes 4 hours. I feel like it's just me.
It's the same thing where people are trying to sell you like a kind of like cookware thing online or on
Yeah.
TV, like infomercials. Like it saves you all this time, and they just show you like, yeah, you cut up all the food already.
Yeah.
It's already
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, train to train. Thank you. Train like if I'm at the train station.
Yes.
It's 20 minutes.
It's
Sure,
20 minutes to
but-
get
To the
into
station.
New York City.
Just getting into the station to get to the path is it's insane.
Yeah, I have to
and
get
down.
I have to get from Brooklyn to Midtown Manhattan.
It's
and
an
then
MC
get
Escher painting of a fucking
Truly.
station.
I have to go to that fucking weird World Trade Center mall. I'm out.
Who's buying anything there?
I don't know. Some people like it. I've seen in my brief dalliances with auditions and stuff. This is what I've known. All actors are this big and their heads are this big.
Huge.
Dude.
I walk in and everyone's just like sitting in the chair. I'm just like knocking stuff. I don't fit in the chair. I'm
Every
like, why am I here? I don't fit on the camera with anyone else.
Dude.
Every audition looks like a big head mode in GoldenEye. You're like,
It really does.
Dude,
I
speaking of
stopped going. They're like, they try to send me on a Colgate one. I don't know if you see my teeth. They're not great. And I was like, this is the one I was like,
Yeah, you're like, do you want me to be
I can't
there
take a day off
before?
work. That's what everyone says before. I'm like, toothpaste doesn't make your teeth bigger.
Yeah.
So I just have to say no to something. It's humiliating.
Dude, I had to. Speaking of tiny actors with big giant heads, I auditioned for one of the only times I've ever auditioned for anything for Anna Kendrick's HBO show. It was
Hey.
but the role was supposed to be like hot guy, and what it was, I think it was when I was at my fattest. I think I was 265 pounds, and I was supposed to be sitting shirtless in a kiddie pool. And I walked in there. I walked in, and I was just I wanted to be like, we both know I'm not gonna get this.
That's
Why am
insane.
I had
Let's
to
not waste your time.
Dude, it was like when I was like working in Midtown Manhattan at a law firm, and I was like, I gotta take a half day because I got a doctor's appointment, and then I had to like go to fucking Grand Central to some office building, and it was me and some guy who looked like a magician. And I was just like, what the fuck am I? And then I had to like, dude, I remember like ran lines with you and Gabby one night at our apartment, and just being like, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, it's
I don't
humiliating.
want it. Like, oh, you saw me doing I don't think so, honey, at the Bell House, and you think I could be hot guy?
Hey, that's
So
nice.
funny.
Compliment.
It's nice,
Pretty
but,
nice.
yeah.
Especially commercial. It is just humiliating. It's just about your body and if you fit. And it really has nothing to do with what you say.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just always humiliating. And
Do you
I've
look
been-
like the kind of guy who would use this product?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
that's what it is.
And then watching them try to figure out what you look like I went from like,
Oh, yeah.
I was going out for like the, kind of attractive guy in his 20s roles, and I'm not getting them. And then like, I think my hair went back like a centimeter, and now it was all dad stuff. And I'm like, I don't look like, I think I need to get old and really look like shit, and then I'll have my place.
Yeah, you're in that no man's land of like, we don't
I'm
want to
not
make
a
things
dad.
with you.
He's like,
and
he's
it-
too old, well, he's too young, and I don't know. I played a dad to all these. I remember I went in. It was like these kids had rashes. There were like 4 little redheaded kids, and their mom was in there, and she was like weirdly flirting with me. It was so strange.
How do you think she got 4 kids?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
come on. But the dad, they all the same dad. I know because she's like, he's got more hair than your dad, huh, kid? Saying stuff like that. I'm like, he's probably a good guy.
He's a good guy. He works really hard.
But seems like he probably works pretty hard for you to be able to take these kids around to auditions and shit all the time.
But I had to check all the kids for rashes as part of their commercial, and it was so fun. And I didn't get it, but I was just making the kids laugh. I'm like, is that it? And they're like, come on. And we weren't in that, and then I'm just playing with children.
Yeah.
Apropos,
Yeah.
not of the camera or the mom.
You just find
And
out
was
that
a
you
good
should be like a
Cut!
Yeah, stop touching them.
Cut!
Stop touching them.
okay, your real calling is that you should be like a preschool teacher.
Yeah.
I would like it. They don't
I
want me
did.
in there.
I
but
did an
yeah.
audition where they needed a fighter with comedic experience,
Buddy.
and I didn't get it.
Jesus Christ. Who'd they get? Chuck
I
Liddell?
didn't look. I didn't see.
Brendan Schaub?
It was for Impractical Jokers, so I think they need someone who looked like a fighter. And I'm just like,
Ah, sure. They don't
guy.
understand how fighting works.
Exactly.
That you're the perfect killing
Yeah,
machine.
what's his name? Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
To do some stand up on there about how the earth is flat. Or
yeah, they
whatever.
really love that kind
God.
of shit. Fucking kidding me.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
I have to
no.
go in a
Yeah, it's
second.
perfect. This is
I can tell an Impractical Jokers story real quick.
Yeah, please. Oh fuck yeah, we'll undo that.
Well, I went to. I was supposed to be doing this show, and they're from Staten Island, right?
Yeah.
And they set up this whole Impractical Jokers like museum. They put up all this stuff from the show or whatever. And Sal Vulcano was supposed to. Great guy, by the way.
Yeah,
I
Sal
told him.
rocks.
I
I've
told
done
him this
shows with him.
story,
He's
and
great.
he was horrified that this happened. But he was supposed to close it out, I guess.
Murph
And
was putting his cigarettes out on my chest.
yeah, Murph's a piece of shit. Murph can burn up. But no, so we all took the ferry over, and I thought Sal was coming later. And then they found out halfway through, they're like, oh, Sal can't make it. And then they're like, so I was the only one with like credits. Like, you want to close it out? I was like, sure. So all these people only came here to this Impractical Jokers Museum to see Sal Volcano, and then they're like, well, Sal couldn't make it, but we got Casey J.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna talk about fucking a dog.
Yeah.
But this guy's been on Jimmy Kimmel, and
And they were
comedy's gonna
so
make
upset.
it feel interesting.
I was upset for them. The
People
whole thing was so bad.
Throwing chicken parm
They
sandwiches at you.
hated me so much.
Yeah.
Sal's a fun guy, and I was just talking about my dick not working and
yeah.
the animals I've killed by accident.
Oh man.
Yeah, they're like, no, Sal's gonna talk about how being married is crazy.
Yeah, I talk about that. Too.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
beautiful.
crazy.
That's an anchor of comedy.
It is crazy.
Casey, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me, boys.
We
Love
appreciate
you both. It was great to see you.
There you go. Know that. Casey rocks. Go like Casey's post about the Pelican Brief.
About the Pelican
Please.
Brief.
I'll put it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
I want 300 likes by
300
tomorrow.
Yeah.
likes. We'll do it. We'll add that. Where can people follow you? Go see you. Go buy your album.
Listen
Yes.
to your
Well,
podcast.
Special?
my first album, Wild Country Phoenix, available to
Fantastic
everyone.
album.
Thank you very
Wild
much.
Country
I was listening to it. I remember this. I was sincerely just listening to the album because I think you're very funny.
And then he found out about COVID.
And then I found I was walking into the train station and he's walking out, and I go,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, look,
That was
I'm
awesome.
listening to your album.
That was very
I was there
exciting.
for the
To it.
recording. You can hear me laughing.
Yes. It was very fun. That one's available. The next one, I have to watch the final edit, and I've been having trouble.
Hey, I was
But
also
will.
at that one.
Video.
You are?
That was
Yeah.
also
So
awesome.
this one is a video special. I think I'm going to call it "Welcome to the Jungle," just because I didn't have any set design and I had a sign that said that I put up on stage.
Yeah.
My wife was supposed to bring. Here, I'll tell you quick. I couldn't figure out a set design thing. I had all these plans fell through, and Courtney's like, "Oh, my dad's got a bunch of taxidermy." She was home. I was like, "Yeah, bring it." I thought it was going to look like a museum, and she hands me the one stuffed fox, and I have to be like, "That's okay. That's it."
right.
I can't
One
get mad. I'd be like, "Thank you." So I just had a fox and a
was
neon
perfect.
sign, and that was it. But that's coming out soon. I got a podcast with my wife called "I Love You, But Your Music Sucks." I've got, and you can follow me at Casey J Salengo on all platforms.
Follow him. He's a great guy. He's very, very funny. Follow Micah Brucey at Micah Brucey.
Follow Diego Lopez at this Diego Lopez.
Patreon.com/A Little Time Pod for 4 bonus episodes a month, plus video of all 8 episodes a week before everyone else. We love you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Never leave. New studio.
Yeah.
With being paid for by the Patreon, so please join the Patreon.
Yeah.
We
And,
need this.
Zanies Rosemont, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Australia, Washington, D.C. I'm going to be there. And then, I don't know, I'm going to try to maybe mend my relationship with my family after that.
All right, buddy.
Bye.